Can a simple friend request turn deadly? Could a friend request be a bully in reality? Of course, we see it every day. We have people that do not like us that follow our social media pages just to see what we're doing in our everyday life. A 13-year-old beautiful girl gets a friend request from a good-looking, sweet, kind 16-year-old boy. However, he wasn't cute, he wasn't 16, and he wasn't a boy. Is it a parent or is it a student? Let's find out right now. Happy Thriller Thursday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrico, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best, and you're ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are you drinking that water? Are y'all staying hydrated? Are y'all getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you're going to have an amazing, wonderful day, I promise you. And I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight on this Thriller Thursday evening. Today, we are going to be discussing bullying and how bullying is taking the life of children every single day. As we all know, bullying is getting out of control in the world every single day. Kids are being bullied at school and different places. It used to be back in my day in the 90s when we would get bullied, we wouldn't bring it home. But now kids are bringing it home as their social media, as their text messages, as their cell phones. They feel like they can't escape the bullying. I was bullied constantly in school due to my hair. It was very bushy, very big, very thick. As y'all can tell, I have thick hair. Back then, we didn't have straighteners. So I just had to go to school with this big lioness hair. And then my lips are also big. So people made fun of my lips and they would call me different names. I was also extremely skinny in school. So they picked on me about my weight and called me several names. But when I got home, all of that was over. Now, kids are bringing it home with them and they're taking their life because they feel that is their only escape. And we need to put a stop to all of that. Today, we are going to be discussing the case of 13-year-old Megan Taylor Meier. Megan Taylor Meier was born November 6 of 1992 to her parents, Tina and Ron Meier, in O'Fallon, Missouri. She was a beautiful, loving 13-year-old girl. However, she was very fragile. She was going through depression. And even at the young age of 8, 9, 10 years old, in the 3rd grade, she was expressing to her mother how she wanted to take her own life. Of course, her mother was scared and devastated. She wanted to help Megan and get her the help she needed. Megan started going to counseling and was under the care of a psychiatrist. She was on medication for depression. She was being bullied, she was depressed, she was crying 24/7 and didn't know how to get out of it. So her mother decided that she was going to send her to a new school. Megan started a new school, started making new friends, came out the house more often, was beginning to play more with her younger sister, Allison. They saw a different type of child with Megan. She even started playing volleyball with her friends and doing different activities. Megan also had a friend in her next door neighbor, Sarah Drew. Sarah Drew was another 13-year-old girl. She was more of the introvert, where Megan was more of the extrovert. They didn't have a lot in common, but when you put their personalities together, they all meshed well together. However, Megan started making new friends at her new school, so she wasn't spending a lot of time with Sarah Drew as she used to. Not because she didn't want to, but because she just didn't have time. She was involved in her volleyball, her other activities with her new friends. Now, her friend Sarah Drew was starting to feel neglected and couldn't figure out why her friend Megan did not want to spend time with her anymore. One day, the mother of Sarah Drew, Laurie Drew, speaks to Megan's mom, Tina. And she's kind of annoyed because Megan isn't spending that much time with her daughter, Sarah Drew. And Tina's like, look, I changed her school. She's involved in volleyball. She's involved in different activities. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And when I watched this story and I researched the story, I found that Laurie Drew, the mother of Sarah Drew, kind of pushed relationships between her daughter and other people. She wanted these relationships to happen, and she constantly forced it between people. Megan's little sister Allison said, everyone said that Laurie Drew was annoying. She was one of those annoying moms that just wouldn't take the hint. Megan was having fun with her friends and family, and she was doing volleyballs and having fun with her new friends at her new school. The year is now 2006, and the popular social media outlet MySpace is very popular. I know y'all all know MySpace. Yeah, I had a MySpace. I know I had one. I loved it. I thought it was so cool. It came out right before Facebook. It was kind of like Facebook, but it had music playing in the background. I remember my song was Fergie. Fergalicious was a song playing in the back of mine. Y'all, MySpace was so fun. It was so exciting, especially the teenagers. And Megan wanted a MySpace account. All her friends had one. However, Megan's mom, Tina, was very worried about MySpace. She wanted to protect her child. She didn't want anything to happen to Megan. And remember, Megan was very fragile. So she didn't want Megan to get on MySpace and something happened, because Megan was the type of kid that couldn't take criticism very well. So she was worried about that. And finally, Megan's mom, Tina, decides that yes, you can have a MySpace, but you have to follow very strict rules. Like, her parents are the only ones that had the password. Her parents are the only ones that can sign her in and sign her out. And she had a limited time she could spend on MySpace every day. Megan was upset at first about the rules, but was very excited to have a MySpace account. She decided to use the username PrettyBling16. She uploaded pictures. She loved it. She loved communicating with all her friends, and she was having the time of her life. Just 3 weeks after she got onto MySpace, she gets a friend request from a 16-year-old boy named Josh Evans. At first, her mother, Tina, was kind of skeptical, like, who's this guy? Who is he? She asked her mom, please. Tina says yes. She says, yes, you can be friends with him. It's fine. We monitor everything you do. We see everything you say. You can be friends with this 16-year-old boy named Josh Evans. 13-year-old Megan Meier and 16-year-old Josh Evans are talking constantly on MySpace. They start building a relationship. Josh is commenting on Megan's pictures, saying how beautiful she is, telling her how beautiful her eyes are, and she is extremely excited. This is a 13-year-old girl. She's happy. This 16-year-old cute boy is very interested in her and wants to get to know her. She's thrilled about it, and her family sees how happy it is making her. Josh says that he is from Florida, but recently moved to her hometown in Missouri. He says that he comes from a broken home, so Megan begins to comfort him. She tells him how wonderful he is. It's okay. I'm here for you. Let's comfort each other when we need. And they start telling people they're in a relationship. And a lot of people say, how are you in a relationship with someone that you've never met? Y'all, it happens all the time. All the time. I'm a huge fan of 90 Day Fiance, and they talk on the phone, they exchange text messages, and then they meet in person one day. You see it happening, and the good thing about that is you already know the person when you meet them. However, Megan says that there was always an excuse of why Josh couldn't talk on the phone, why they couldn't meet in person. Megan invites Josh to her 14th birthday party. She's excited. She's turning 14 on November 6th. He says he can't because he's going to Florida to visit his family. Then she says, well, can I have your phone number so we could talk on the phone? He says, no, I'm sorry. My mom can't afford a home phone. Even Megan's mom, Tina, starts to become worried. Like, why is this boy always making excuses of why he can't talk to Megan on the phone or why he can't meet her in person? And that's another red flag that I'm going to tell you. If they can't talk on the phone, like I discussed with y'all yesterday, if they can't talk on the phone, they can't see you in person, something isn't right. Something is wrong. Don't y'all think that Megan's mom would have proudly taken her daughter to see Josh Evans? But he always said no. He always had an excuse why he couldn't meet up with 13-year-old Megan Meier. She was worried, but she still kept discussing her issues and how much she loved Josh Evans every day. She would tell people how much she wanted to be with him and how happy he was making her. So her mom wanted her to remain like this, so it was okay with Megan speaking to Josh Evans every day. However, everything started to get weird when Megan was constantly asking Josh to meet up and constantly asking Josh to talk on the phone. Megan's mom, Tina, expressed her concern to Megan. She's like, you know what, Megan, something seems off. Something doesn't seem right with Josh Evans, don't you find? And Megan's like, oh, Mom, whatever. You're just being paranoid, a typical teenager. Just don't worry about it, Mom. I have everything under control. I know everything, and he's the right person for me, and their relationship was great. One day when Tina went down to the basement where the computer was, she saw that Megan was still logged in to MySpace. It was during school hours. Megan was at school. She saw that Josh Evans was online, which was odd because shouldn't he be in school? But anyway, she sent him a message saying, I think you are too old for my daughter. He responded back with, I understand your concern. Now, y'all, I don't know about y'all. I don't know. But I don't know what 16-year-old boy would have responded with that. Because most 16-year-old boys would hurry up and just get offline or say this is weird. They wouldn't even respond. But he responded with something very nice. I understand your concern. Tina was just worried. She was like, something is off. She even notified the police, y'all. She was so worried, like any parent would. Like, who is this guy? Why can't he meet my daughter? Where is he? Tina calls the police and she speaks to the police and wants to find out if Josh Evans is real or fake. She wants to know, like, who is he? The police was like, well, there's really nothing we can do. They're both underage. They're just talking. Nothing inappropriate has been said or done. There's nothing we can do here. What do you want us to do? And she's like, okay, whatever. I guess I just have to deal with this. Josh Evans and Megan Meier's relationship continues to grow and continues to be strong. However, one day that all changed when Megan receives a message from Josh saying, you aren't a nice person. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Where did that come from? Of course, Megan responded, but he never responded back to Megan, which was very odd. Why would he just say that out of the blue? Who was he talking to? Where did he hear this from? What made him think that all of a sudden? Megan wanted to know. She wanted to know what was going on. She told her mom, Tina, about it. Tina logged Megan off and said, you know what, Megan, just don't worry about it. Let's go to bed. She brings Megan upstairs. She talks to her. She says, it's going to be okay. Just calm down. You'll talk to him tomorrow. Tina was worried about Megan. Megan wasn't a typical 13-year-old girl. She was extremely fragile. She suffered through depression. And Tina was worried that this situation with Josh Evans would bring her daughter back into a deep, dark depression as it was earlier. The next day, on October 17th, 2006, Megan Meier goes to school. When she comes home from school, she asks her mother, Tina, to log her in to MySpace as she wants to see if Josh responded. Tina says, you only have a few minutes as I have to bring your sister to an appointment. Tina logs Megan in, and that is when she sees that Josh Evans responded with, you heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be friends with you. No one likes you in this town. Megan was devastated. Her mom calls her to check on her. Megan's crying. She goes, Megan, log off of MySpace and stop reading all of that stuff. Megan is so heartbroken over Josh Evans. Later on that evening, Megan goes back on her computer and all of these other people are making comments about Megan, several other people. And Megan wanted to respond. She was going back and forth. She was completely heartbroken about what all these people were saying about her. How could they say these things to her? And remember, Megan was a fragile 13-year-old girl. So anything can set her off. She was crying, upset, devastated, gets off the computer, runs up to her room. Her mom chases after her. She slams the door. Tina tries to calm her down. Tina goes back downstairs and 20 minutes go by and Tina says, well, let me go check on Megan. And that is when Tina walked in to her 13-year-old daughter's room and finds 13-year-old Megan Myers deceased in her closet. She had taken her own life, just 3 weeks shy of her 14th birthday. Tina was screaming. Tina was devastated. She wanted to know why her daughter did this. As a parent, I couldn't imagine walking in to that tragedy. How heartbreaking is that for the Meier family, especially for Tina, to find her daughter that way? Megan Meier is pronounced deceased. Tina wants to know, who the heck is Josh Evans? Who is he? Where did he come from? Why did he say all these mean things to her daughter? And how the heck could they find him? They wanted to know the truth about everything. Tina goes back to the computer and sees that Josh Evans made a comment to Megan before she returned to her room when she took her own life. And it said something like, everyone in O'Fallon knows who you are. Everyone hates you. Just mean things. And it also said, the world would be a better place without you. That is the last thing 13-year-old Megan Meier saw before she took her own life. Someone on the internet was bullying Megan so much that she decided to end her life on October 17, 2006. Tina Myers is devastated over the loss of her 13-year-old daughter. She goes on to MySpace. She logs in and sees Josh Evans' account. She sees all of these horrible things that were said to her daughter before she took her own life. Then all of a sudden, as she's reading all of these comments from Josh Evans, his account is deleted, deactivated. No trace of Josh Evans anywhere. She couldn't figure it out. Why? What happened? Where was his account? Why would he delete everything? Why would he go away? What did he know? She was so worried about what happened with Josh Evans. Every time she tried to look for him, she looked for this boy for hours. Everything and everywhere she looked, she came up with dead ends. She couldn't figure out where he was or who knew him. It was a disaster for her. Could you imagine? You were trying to figure out what happened to your daughter, then all of a sudden this account is gone. She didn't know what to do or what to think. Just weeks after the death of 13-year-old Megan Myers, their neighbor, Laurie Drew, was having a birthday party for their daughter, Sarah Drew, whose birthday was just days after Megan's on November 6th. It had only been about a month since Megan's passing. Laurie Drew invites the Myers to Sarah's birthday party, which to me is kind of weird. Like, why would you invite these poor parents that just lost their child to a child's the same age birthday party? It was very odd to me, very weird. But Megan Myers' parents decided they're going to go because they know that Sarah Drew, Megan's friend, is struggling with Megan's passing, so they want to go and be supportive. They show up to the birthday party. As soon as they start singing happy birthday, the parents break down. They run out the house. Laurie Drew, Sarah Drew's mom, goes after them and says, hey, I'm sorry. By the way, I need a favor. We got Sarah a foosball table for Christmas. Do you mind if we store it in your garage so she doesn't see it? What the heck? These people just lost their daughter, their child, and you asking them for a favor? What kind of people are you? That's just weird. The Myers agree and say, yes, that's fine. You can store the foosball table in our garage. A couple of weeks go by and Tina gets a phone call from another neighbor saying, hey, we have some information on what happened to your daughter, Megan Myers, and we have some very important information that we want to share with you. So Megan Myers' parents go to the neighbor's house and they find out exactly what happened and what was said and the entire truth of the passing of their 13-year-old daughter, Megan Myers. And what happened to Megan and what was going on will shock you as it did me. The neighbor expresses to the Meier family that Josh Evans is completely fake. He's not 16, he's not cute, and he's not a boy. Josh Evans is Laurie Drew. Yes, y'all, Laurie Drew, the neighbor of the Meyers, the mother of Sarah Drew, Megan's friend. She created a fake account along with her daughter Sarah and their friend Ashley Grills. They all made this account to get back at Megan. Allegedly, Megan was talking bad about Sarah and they wanted to see what she would say about her, so they made up this Josh Evans account. The neighbor even expressed to the Myers family that Laurie Drew even said that they were going to tell Megan to go to a mall and Josh was going to be there waiting for her. And when she got there, they would all stand around and laugh at her. Who does this? What kind of person, what kind of parent would do this to a child? You hear about children bullying each other all the time and you can't get away from it. But when you hear about a parent that's behind this huge account, when you find out the parent is the one making up all of these stuff to this fragile, innocent 13-year-old girl. This monster of a woman went to Megan's wake, went to her funeral, invited Megan's parents to her daughter's birthday party, asked them to store a Christmas present for their daughter. This woman was crazy. What was wrong with her? How could she do this to this family that just lost their 13-year-old child? This was insane. The Myers family is completely upset. They are enraged by this. They are shocked at this. When they get home, they take a sledgehammer and an axe to that foosball table and they destroy it. They bring it to pieces. They are so upset. All of their rage is taken out on this foosball table. They are so upset. Laurie Drew walks out of the house with no remorse, and Tina Miles charges at her, and Megan's dad stops her and says, no, you're not doing this. Think about our other daughter, Allison. I don't know about y'all. Nothing probably could have held me back. My anger would be uncontrollable at that moment. I would probably go crazy. I would turn into a crazy person because I would be so upset that somebody did this to my child. Tina is telling her, I want you to feel the way I feel. I hate what you did to me. I hate you. How could you do this to a 13-year-old little girl? What were you thinking? And guess who called the police? Guess, y'all. Laurie Drew on the Meyers for destroying the foosball table after all what she did to that family. No charges were ever made on Megan Meyer's parents for destroying the foosball table. Instead, police and FBI investigate what happened with the Josh Evans account. However, the cops said there is nothing that can be done as there were no laws on cyberbullying. Megan's parents took the story to the news, and that is when Laurie Drew could face 3 years in prison and a $300,000 fine. The media, as well as everyone, was enraged after hearing this story. Laurie Drew goes on trial for fraud. She is convicted, but the judge overturns the verdict, saying that anyone who lies on the internet can be charged. Laurie Drew and her family move out of town. After the terrible tragedy, Tina Myers, Megan's mother, started the Megan Myers Foundation to bring awareness to bullying as well as cyberbullying. And in 2009, the state of Missouri introduced the law to criminalize the use of the internet to harass someone. It is known as Megan's Law. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is we have got to put a stop to bullying as well as cyberbullying. It is getting way out of hand in our world as we see children as well as adults take their own life for bullying. And it is horrible the way people are bullying these days. Because it's not just in person. It is also behind the screen, social media, text messages, and it also can be done with a parent. Can you believe that? A grown adult, a parent of another child, another student, was bullying a 13-year-old little girl who was already fragile. This woman knew that Megan Meier suffered with depression and still decided to prey on her. This person was horrible. Laurie Drew is a monster. To do this to another child is horrible. You see adults being mean to adults every day. But when you see a grown adult who is a parent to another 13-year-old child act this way is disgusting. It is horrible. And the fact that this woman pushed this little girl over the edge and got no jail time is so frustrating to me. It is so annoying and aggravating to know that this woman walks free every single day and has no punishment for what she did. She deserves to have some type of punishment. She deserves to sit in jail. She deserves something because another parent lost their child for no reason, for absolutely no reason at all. Bullying, that's what happened in this case. And children are taking their life because they feel that this is their only escape, and it is not. There is help every single day. There are several hotlines. You can go to a school counselor. You can go to your parent. You can even come to me if you need. I'm always here for each and every one of you. And I am so happy that Megan's mom created Megan's Law. There is a law now named after Megan that can help with these certain issues, to criminalize people that harass people through the internet, through bullying. And you know what else is weird? Yesterday we talked about Casey Renee Woody. Casey Renee Woody's birthday was October 17th. And 13-year-old Megan Taylor Myers passed away on October 17th. There is a date shared between these two young girls who thought they were both speaking to someone else on the internet. But in reality, they were talking to a monster. I hope all of y'all enjoyed today's video, and I hope that y'all like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I will see y'all next week with more videos. I want to thank all of you for the love and support, and for you, I am truly grateful. I love y'all. Bye.